Farm Small, Farm Smart Daily is part of the Modern Grower Podcast Network. Check out some of our other shows like Carrot Cash Flow, the Growing Microgreens Podcast, and Farm Small, Farm Smart. Learn more about the shows using the link below.
Anyways, I kind of want to pivot and talk more about your particular expertise, sort of your main focus on this, and that's the greenhouse. And I would imagine that most of that probably just started as you need a place to propagate your own seeds for transplants for the farm so that you guys can grow things and sell veg to your CSA customers and so on. But you guys also have really scaled up to creating in some ways, you might agree with this, that it is almost like a completely separate side of the business. Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, it's another enterprise of the business. Just like the cut flowers are another enterprise. Yeah, it's another revenue stream that we have. And so Love is Love LLC back in DeKalb County, they would host a plant sale every spring and every fall. And they're very successful. And so we carried that over into the new business plan, the cooperative business plan, and started having what I call the retail plant sales in the spring and in the fall. And we also started hearing from a lot of other farms and farmer friends like, hey, I could really use some transplants. Like, would y'all be willing to grow any transplants for us? And so I don't know, there was just a lot of folks kind of asking about that. And Joe and I were talking and Russell and I were talking, and we just, we're like, okay, maybe we should give this a shot, and just grow out some stuff for some folks and see how that works. Because we already had the systems in place. We built the greenhouse big enough for what we thought we could like grow into with like the plant cells and then our crop plans, how we want to scale up the acreage. And then we ended up maxing out that space within 2 years.
Yeah.
Or like a year and a half. And I remember the first year we partnered with Foodwell Alliance to be like, hey, we're interested in starting to grow out wholesale transplants for other farms because we see that there's a demand for it and a need. Would you be willing to kind of partner with us and like letting your farmers know in your network that we're doing this? And so they partnered with us and like reached out to their farmers. So they offered, I think, 8 trays per farm that like signed up. And so we grew out the trays for Foodwell Alliance, and then they distributed them to their farmer network. And so we got to learn a lot about our systems, timing.
So
just
8 trays per farm. How many trays overall? I guess how many farms was that in that first?
I want to say that first round was something like maybe 20 or 25 farms.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So you went from like 0 to 100.
Yeah. And then we had another friend, Snapfinger Farm, who was he also is in the Conservation Fund program, the Working Farms Fund program, and got some acreage and was breaking ground and was like, okay, I don't have a greenhouse yet, but I need transplants. So that was a big account. And we're like, okay, we see potential in this. So the next year we started kind of like putting the word out and making, some improvements and investing in more like seed plates on the vacuum seeder. I started really just honing in on like crunching the numbers, getting the details, getting the timing right, reaching out to folks. And then I'm losing track of the years, but at one point, one year, Russell and I applied for a equipment grant to be able to make some equipment investments and improvements in the greenhouse. And then we added another bay onto the greenhouse. We have a gutter connect greenhouse. So now we have 3 bays each bay is 28 by 72. With the grant, we were able to get a pot filler, a second vacuum seeder, and then some rolling tables to kind of maximize the space that's on the cover. And then now, like this winter, I'm thinking like marketing. Like we went to the South Conference and Expo. We had a booth in the Expo, and we were, giving out our availability lists, and we took some plants to display. And then this past winter, Joe and Judith went to the CFSA conference and met some folks. So we're really trying to now I'm ready. I'm ready to drum up the attention and let folks know that we're doing this. The friends in our circles here in Georgia, they know what we're doing, and they can come to us for their organic transplant needs. But yeah, we're starting to kind of cast a wider net throughout the Southeast. So that's really exciting to me.
Just like rough ballpark numbers, so like we'll say for 2025, like do you have an idea of like roughly how many, like, whatever number is the easiest for you to pull off the top of your head, whether it's like trays or numbers of plant starts or whatever it is, do you have like a rough idea of like what you were able to grow and sell to your wholesale customers this year?
Mm-hmm. I have that written down.
I should have asked you that in advance so you would have had that. That's my fault.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can say that we have revenued 106,000 in just the wholesale.
Wow.
So the retail is a little bit more than that.
Wow.
Yeah.
In that retail, just to kind of give some background on that, you guys do what, 2 like big retail plant sales a year, like a spring and a fall?
Yep.
And you guys are doing, is it just farmers markets?
We have a big main event here at the farm in the spring and the fall. First, we take pre-orders on our website. So we'll start, the list will go up. We start letting folks know via email and Instagram and Facebook and whatnot that we're taking pre-orders. So a lot of folks go ahead and order their plants, and we make sure when we're packing those orders, we're picking the best of the best looking plants for those pre-orders. And then we have our day of event where everybody can come to the farm and shop at the farm. And then we try to make it really festive, and we have other vendors, and we have food vendors and activities and workshops and a farm tour. So, folks might be driving a ways. So we want to make sure that they can make a full day out of it and have fun out here. So people get their plants there. And then with the leftover inventory, we go to farmers markets the 2 weekends after that main event. So it's really 3 weekends of plant sale season.
Gotcha.
In the spring and in the fall. And we try to hit up most of the Atlanta markets. In the spring, we go to Athens.
Yep. That's a lot. That's but I mean, it really is amazing that, I guess you're saying you did more than 100,000 in sales and revenue on the retail side of things with essentially and I'm way oversimplifying this, but essentially 6 days, sort of 6 days of sales in a year. If you're saying you do one big weekend and then you do the 2, obviously you're doing multiple farmers markets in a day, but you're doing 2 Saturdays after that, and you're doing that twice a year, that's 6.
On the pre-orders.
Okay, yeah, on the pre-orders.
Yeah, the pre-orders are open on our website, I want to say, for about 6 to 8 weeks.
Gotcha.
In advance.
So you're really drumming it up, and people are doing and all that. So, but still, for a pretty concentrated amount of the year, you're doing a significant amount of revenue to retail customers, and I would imagine are a significant amount of these customers also people who are CSA members who have shopped from the farm and had a relationship with you guys over the years.
Yeah. CSA members, avid gardeners that I see year after year after year, that come to the plant sales, and then I see them again at the farmers market. Also, folks who run school gardens or university gardens, they reach out to us every year, spring and fall. Yeah, all kinds of people that are brand new to gardening that just want to learn and have some space. It's really fun. It's beautiful.
Hello, growers. Say goodbye to heavy sandbags and hello to Modern Growers Quick Hoops Low Tunnels. Protect your plants from pests, wind, rain, and frost without the hassle of sandbags or flimsy hoops. Our patented design eliminates the need for clamps and ropes, while the unique wire system keeps covers secure yet easily accessible. Tested in the strong winds of New Zealand for over 20 years, Quick Hoops are light, strong, portable, and versatile. Most importantly, they're designed for field use. These aren't some lightweight system that only looks great in a greenhouse. Our hoops are designed to last in harsh field conditions. Use them with any covering to grow year-round and safeguard your crops. Shade cloth, frost blanket, insect net, clear poly, no problem. Quick Hoops can handle them. Get Quick Hoops today at shop.moderngrower.co and protect your crops for years to come.